Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Opposite Field Outlook. I'm Jack. This is Andrew. This is Neil. Neil, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Just hectically, we're getting all the recaps, learning all these games that I didn't even know happened. But yeah, it's been fun watching some baseball.
How are you doing, Andrew?
Doing okay. A lot of baseball happening.
A lot of
yeah,
baseball happening.
my fantasy team is doing okay, but losing to the best team in the division right now. So, yeah, kind of coping with that one.
Who hasn't lost?
Yeah,
to the
right?
best team in the division?
Exactly.
I haven't yet, so
well,
yeah,
I'm
we know you
0-2.
would.
Yeah.
I'm guaranteed at least one more loss.
Yeah, that's true. Before you figure things out.
I'm doing pretty good. It's really hot in here because the AC doesn't work on weekends.
Weekend. Wait, just
Yeah.
turn it off.
It's
just
an
crack
office
open
building.
a window.
Bro, I'd have to hit it with a
Yeah.
hammer. to do that.
Like,
Literally
physically
crack open a
crack
window.
open a window.
Literally cracked
What
it
you
open.
said.
I was in Colorado over spring break. I've been at school for a week. I'm still not all the way recovered, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So baseball season's it started. It's underway. We've had a few weeks of games. How long does it take before we can say a team has had a good start?
What's your take on that, Andrew?
Okay. So, usually you have the beginning of the season where you have teams like the Rockies, whatever. Yeah, they're doing pretty good. But I think for you to really figure out your season is like June or July. I think like after the trade deadline you really know. But I think June, like mid-June is when you really know. There are some cases like the 2019 Nationals and the 2021 Braves who were like completely out of the picture and then they kicked it back in. But it's really like June when you really figure out the teams, and
Didn't the Braves win the same number of games before and after the All-Star break?
I think so. I think they were like
I think, but they were
they were
skewed.
500 or under 500 by a little
It
bit.
was different in terms of like it wasn't all equally average. Like losses and wins.
Yeah.
Part of the season.
Yeah, so like around June or July, that's when you should really figure out if your team's in or out of it.
Okay, fair take. For me, I would consider, so normally we break down the season by halves. We base it by the All-Star break, and that's kind of how you determine if a team completely turned it around or not. For me, in terms of like a good start, I would consider that the first month, which obviously the first month never accurately describes what the last month is.
Yeah.
But I would still consider the first month the start. It never accurately describes it. I'm pretty sure the 2018 Angels started like 30-3 or something crazy to begin, and we're below 500 to end it. So like, obviously a good start is impressive for a team, but it never resembles anything. But I mean, I think the first 30 games give an idea of players and kind of, I mean, by then I think all the players have kind of settled into their positions and like gotten accustomed to the new team if they've been traded or just signed a contract. So I think the first month kind of establishes players and resembles a good start or a bad start for a team.
I said 30 games as well. Obviously, there are like some teams that this doesn't apply to. The Reds are 3-17 right now.
Yep.
So they through 20 games, they have 3 wins. Even if they won their next 10 games, they'd still be 2 games under 500.
Mhm.
So I can confidently say that the Reds have had a bad start.
Yes.
I think 30 games is the sweet spot unless a team is like undefeated through the first 20 games or like 3-17.
Right.
Mhm.
Something fishy happening.
Okay, well, we're getting there then, because this is the end of April. May 1st is tomorrow. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Let's do the American League recap. The Astros are 1 game above 500. They're 3rd in the West. They stomped on teams like the Angels in the first series. They lost to Seattle. They lost to the Angels. They lost to the Jays. That didn't help them out much. But a 3-4 series at the Rangers helped them climb back up to 1 game above 500. The Rangers look terrible right now. They're 4 games behind 500.
Yep.
Oof. This club has been struggling a little bit. The only series win this season has been against the Oakland Athletics. Speaking of the Oakland Athletics, they're at 500 right now, 10 games and 10 games. A much better start than a lot of us expected, I think. I didn't expect them to be anywhere near 500, especially at first.
That's facts.
The M's are one game over 500 right now. They're second in the West. They won a series against the Astros, the Rangers, and they swept a 3-game series against the Kansas City Royals, which is a common theme amongst a lot of teams. My Halos, they're 3.5 games over 500. They won a series against the Astros, the Rangers, and they swept the Guardians, winning at Chicago last night. Moving on to the Central. What's going on in the Central, man? The White Sox are 7-12. My World Series prediction is in jeopardy here a little bit. Serious defensive struggles. Giolito, Lance Lynn, Eloy Jimenez, Liam Hendricks, Joe Kelly, Yon Moncada, Luis Robert, and Andrew Vaughn all on the IL. That's rough. The Twins are 3 games ahead of the rest of the Central. Didn't think I'd be saying that. Correa's been having a horrible start. The Twins have been carrying him, though. The Guardians are 2 games out of 500 after being swept by the Halos, and they swept the Reds and the White Sox.
Shocker.
My Royals, they're kind of bad. 2 games out of 500. They got swept by the Mariners. They got beat by the Tigers. They did get a series from the White Sox. Miggy gets 3,000 hits. The Tigers suck. 2-18 in their last 10. They got swept by the Twins. They lost a series to the Rockies and a series to the Yankees. In the East, the Yankees are way on top. They swept the O's. They swept the Guardians. They beat the Tigers and they beat the Red Sox. The Jays are in second. They beat the Red Sox, the Astros, the Red Sox, and the A's. They tied a 4-game series with the Yankees. The Rays come third. I thought they would be way ahead of that. But they beat the Mariners, the Red Sox, the Cubs, but they lost a series to the White Sox and lost a series to the A's. The Red Sox lost to the Jays, the Rays, the Jays, and the Yankees, but they did win 1 series against the Tigers. We don't even need to talk about the Orioles. That's it for the American League. Let's talk about the White Sox. They're 2.5 games under 500. Everyone thought they would be the top team in the Central.
At least.
Yeah.
Not even close. They thought they would absolutely crush the Central. They lead the league in errors with 20 so far this season. Is it?
Yeah, I've noticed
Is it
that.
because of their injuries?
I think that has a factor into it, but most of the players playing are pretty much healthy, like on the infield, I feel like, except for like Moncada and stuff.
So they're just having a
Just
tough
a
time
rough
out there.
time,
They're just
yeah.
having a tough time
Just
out there.
unlucky.
Just
Yeah.
unlucky.
I mean, I guess you could say it was to luck. I don't think if this didn't stand out last year, then
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something that has been a part of these players for a while, or if it was something that kind of
Yeah.
sparked really bad luck or something like that. But I don't know. I guess you could say it's bad luck. It's just kind of weird to see a team. I mean, I've noticed it. Tim Anderson's on my team. I've seen the errors. They've annoyed me. It just looks like sloppy play, to be honest.
Yeah, it
I don't know
does.
if that could be a Tony La Russa problem. Maybe it's the coaching. All of
Yeah.
a sudden just kind of showing more, or if it's the injuries. But I think something's different.
That seems likely to me because there's been a shift in baseball towards no one cares about defense. It's just been
Home runs.
hit more home
Yeah.
runs. The Phillies are doing that. Maybe the White Sox are trying that out. It's not really working very well for them. Their batting average right now, though,
Yeah.
is 207.
Yep.
They average 3 runs a game. That's like
Yeah. Not gonna do it.
not going to make the cut for a top-tier team in the Central.
Yeah.
Their average ERA is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Their average WHIP is 1.4. So they're just
Not.
every
bueno.
aspect of their game is struggling. I think a significant factor is the injuries. Like, let's count the number of pitchers that have been on
There's
IL.
so many pitchers that are injured for them.
They're struggling right now. With
3
injuries.
and more. There's more that were
There's
on
like-
IL.
I mean,
Yeah, there's like 2 starting pitchers, 2 solid starting pitchers. That has a factor in it, and they have a few bullpen arms who also are injured. for long
Giolito
term.
mhm.
and Lance Lynn is
Yeah.
out. He's just gone. He's going to be gone for
Lance will
2
be
more
gone
months.
until
About,
the end of
yeah.
May at the best.
I don't see the best outcome coming true. It doesn't happen very often.
That's like
it's not very often.
That's the most optimistic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like Tony La Russa says he's starting to throw now.
That's pretty good.
Like off the mound, and he says he's doing a little better in his recovery than expected. So, end of May at best. It was expected probably early June.
Yeah.
Late May is now, I guess, the projected time, but still optimistic. So it could take longer.
I'd like to see Lance Lynn back. He's he's really good and he's fun.
He is
It's
really
fun
good.
watching him. He has a cutter and a sinker and a four seam, and they're just fastballs and they just do different things. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
I mean, who have they played? Like, I know they've played a couple of division teams, but like, I
They
don't know.
played mostly division teams. I know that they played the Royals. I think they beat the Royals, 2 games to 1, and then that's all I know for sure about the White Sox because I'm a Royals fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're having a tough life out there right now.
Yeah, I mean, Hendricks, obviously he's still pretty good, but I don't think he's looking as good as he did
Yeah.
last year. I think every single player is not doing quite as good as they should be. Grandal was probably like some people would say the best catcher last year,
Yeah.
and now he just looks as
sloppy.
poo-poo as I remember him when he was on the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally just god awful defensively and seems to strike out every other at bat
Mm-hmm.
with a home run every 3 months.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think he needs to step up. Hendricks might need to step up. I think the pitching is just absent because injuries.
Yeah.
And I think they're just playing sloppy.
So the White Sox took a series 2-1 against the Mariners, 2-1 against the Rays. So they were up at the beginning of the season, and then they got swept by the Guardians, and then they got swept by the Twins.
Ooh.
That's tough.
Awful. That's really
tough.
bad.
And then my bad, the Royals won the series against the White Sox.
Okay.
I had it backwards, and then they just lost last night to the Angels.
I think they're just in a bad stretch right now. They're like veteran Abreu. He's been having a bad year. So I think all these guys, these veteran guys, they'll figure it out. But they're in a tough stretch.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
with La Russa, they should be able to figure that out.
When you start a season good and then all these injuries occur and you start to see the losses, I think you can definitely call it injuries considering
I think
they
so,
started
too.
off great. So I think you could put this on an injury. But
I mean, the Dodgers like started out strong and then they kind of teetered off into the season and they figured it out at the end. So they have a lot of talent, so this should be fine.
Yeah. If those guys come back,
Yeah.
it'll be no problem
Mm-hmm.
because I think the Twins are just at 500 or 1 game above. So
yeah.
they're not like, no one in the Central is doing good right now.
That's always a
Central
bad
is
division.
Kind of,
They're a game and a
bad
half
division.
above 500.
It's always the division who wants to lose more. It's like, okay, it's always a dogfight.
Who can
just-
tank the hardest?
Interesting.
Yep.
Do we want to talk about the Angels now or after we talk about the Dodgers? Let's do it after we talk about the Dodgers. Let's move on to the National League recap, brought to you by Neil.
Let's do it. So obviously we're gonna start off with my Dodgers because why not? We'll get into more detail later on,
There you
but
go.
we're gonna start with the general. So right after last podcast is where I'm gonna pick up for most of these.
Yep.
So completing sweep against the Twins. Most eventful thing going on is Kershaw's perfect 7
That was
innings.
crazy.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
I was glued to my phone for most of that and very upset.
They're in
but-
math class.
Yes, caused much debate by many.
Yeah.
I've always thought of the situation in my head. Never actually decided what I would do, and then I finally saw it in person and realized what I would do.
Exactly.
But I never thought something like this would have happened. You know, like what if a perfect game happened, but he's tired? Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
I think that's something everyone always thinks about at least once, but never actually has seen it happen. So I think that's what caused much debate about this whole debacle. I mean, the good news is the Dodgers get the sweep. Kershaw looks like fresh.
He looks
young,
really good.
Looks really good. So, I mean, you can't really be too upset about the whole result of the entire thing. But either way, complete the sweep against the Twins. Twins looked really garbage that entire series.
But now they're the best team in
Yeah.
the Central.
They're figuring
Yes,
it out
sir.
now. So slow start.
Don't play the Dodgers.
moving to the Brewers. They take 2-3 against the Brewers. Looking good. I
I
don't
think
know.
2-3
Just
against
kinda-
who?
Brewers, right?
Was it the Braves?
Oh.
I think it was the Braves.
Was it the Braves?
Yeah, they played the Braves.
That
Remember Jansen got the save.
that would explain these
yeah,
two.
that
Yeah.
one.
Okay, I was like, I don't
Mhm.
think they played.
I wrote it there. I guess not.
Yeah.
First recap, you know how it goes. Anyway, so it's the Braves. Yeah, because I think they did take 2 or 3.
Uh-huh.
So going on the second game, Jensen closing against his old team. You know, kind
Uh-huh.
of emotional probably for him. Kind of a weird feeling being in the opponent's dugout and locker room.
Everyone was booing him. So
Yeah, just like they used to. You know, nothing's
that's
changed.
A weird,
Nothing's
yep,
changed.
Exactly.
But yeah, he gets the close, looking really good to start the season. Better than I think he has with the Dodgers. So,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
in recent times. So he's looking like probably the best closer in my opinion right now. But Freddie Freeman comes home, especially against the Reds when that was the home opener. Getting those Freddie chants, I think,
Freddie.
especially for him, he got emotional. I think
Mm.
he's really enjoying his time in LA, and I think
Yeah, that's fun.
everyone's welcoming him with open arms. He's probably becoming a fan favorite right now.
Yeah.
Against the Braves, moving on to the Padres. 2-3 against the Padres. Mookie Betts shined for a little bit, then decided to go back to sleep.
Uh-huh.
Either way, they take 2-3. Pretty good outings. Nothing too spectacular. Just good baseball by Dodgers, in my opinion. And I think Dodgers just proving that they're still the older brother in this rivalry, and not the younger brother.
Rivalry.
Beer can throw at Bellinger. Kind of a small, light version of what happens later on with the Yankees.
The Yankees.
Mhm.
And the Guardians, but it wasn't too big of an issue. Just kind of shows the trashiness of the Padres, but
Yeah. Stay classy, San
not much
Diego.
going on there. Padres looking pretty decent. Machado and Ha-Seong Kim trying to carry the weight of
Manny Machado.
Tatis being gone and Cronenworth being doo-doo. So I think
Yeah.
Machado,
We'll talk about him later.
dark horse MVP,
He's
man.
having a
Uh-huh.
crazy
Dark
year
horse
so
MVP.
far.
Anyway, that's enough about the Dodgers. I could keep going on. Giants. Looking crazy good again, and I'm really upset.
Their pitching is cracked.
I don't know what to
It's
do.
always
really
the
good.
pitching.
I can't keep telling myself that this is just a fluke because I'm gonna be here for 5 years telling myself that the Giants are just a fluke.
So annoying.
Picking up where we left off, they sweep the Guardians, they sweep the Nationals, they sweep the Brewers. Like I don't know
Had
what
no
to
idea
do.
this even happened.
They were going off.
Yeah.
The Giants are not a fluke. Obviously they didn't win. Like
Yeah.
they didn't sweep every series, but like to sweep 3, like that's.
Yeah.
They're sweeping
Really good.
teams left, right, and center. The pitching is looking amazing. Webb probably
Oh
gonna
my-
do another shutout against us
I
if
hate
we
that
ever
guy
face him.
so much, but he's so good.
Rodon, sneaky Cy Young, man. He looks really,
really
good.
good.
He looks really good. This team is just as good as last year. I mean, with Posey gone, they don't really seem to care.
It's good to
Obviously
see.
they do, but the team offensively doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
They're just
Uh-huh.
going off. Padres looking pretty good. I mean, better than they were at the end of last year. I think they're where everyone expected them to be.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
pretty good, but not in the Dodgers
Uh-huh.
Giants conversation. They split a series with the Braves. They sweep the Reds twice. One series starting on the 18th, one series starting on the 26th.
You gotta do
They
that.
got lucky.
You
Just
gotta
kinda-
yeah.
sweep the Reds.
Well,
If you don't
exactly.
sweep the Reds, you're an
Exactly.
embarrassment.
Yeah.
Dodgers did the same. Everyone's
Mhm.
sweeping the Reds. But
Yeah.
get to that later. But sweeping the Reds twice, the pitching is looking way better than last year.
Uh-huh.
Especially
For
towards
sure.
the end. People are picking it up.
Yeah.
Hugh Darvish started to get a little
He's
sloppy
playing,
towards the end.
uh-huh.
He's looking good.
Yeah.
Kenzie Gore had a great outing. I think there's a lot of hope for this team. Clevenger. Machado's going off. Profar is off to a pretty good start, in my opinion. He's got great stats right now. I think his batting average could be better as of right now, but on-base percentage, OPS, I think he's having the best start. Of
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
year, especially in the
definitely.
past 10 games. Looking great. OPS in the 800s, slugging doing great. Diamondbacks, nothing to talk about there. They drop against the Mets 2-3, split a series against the Nationals, drop 2-3 against the Mets again, and then they take 2-3 against the Dodgers. That
Yeah.
that's just kind of how it
Oh,
is
no.
sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the Diamondbacks are the Diamondbacks. Nothing much to talk about there. I think they're basically just Marte and his friends goofing
Yeah.
around. Marte's not even doing good. 141 batting average, 209 on base. His OPS is 427. I mean, like,
Yeah.
That's tough.
He's having a really
he's having a
bad
tough
start.
time.
The only worst I've seen is like Cody Bellinger's start.
For
So when Marte's off, the whole team is like done for pretty much. So they're not looking good at all. I think Marte just can't carry right now. Rockies looking pretty decent, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Split a series against the Cubs, take 2 of 3 against the Phillies. They take 2 of 3 against the Tigers, and then they sweep the Phillies. And yeah, that makes for a pretty good start in my opinion. I mean, it's hard to battle this entire division.
Yeah,
Other than the
kidding.
Diamondbacks, but I mean that's a really good start. CJ Cron is in the home run race. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Right.
Bryant being down right now, but with Bryant being down, they're still up.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a pretty good start. I think in most. I mean, and was it AL Central? They'd be pretty high up there.
Yeah.
They'd be crushing the AL
So,
Central. They'd
I mean,
be first place right
Yep.
now, even without the division.
I think this is CJ Cron's best statistical start to his career.
Mhm.
I think. Like,
he's never played this good. So
this team was like expected to be mediocre. So far, they're doing pretty good. So.
Brian's proving to us that he saw something no one else did.
Yeah,
he's
right.
kidding.
Okay.
But yeah, NL West looking pretty competitive right now.
Uh-huh.
Going on to the Central, Cubs. They're about where kind of everyone expected them to be as of right now. Dropped 2 or 3 against the Rays. Dropped 3 or 4 against the Pirates.
Yeah.
But they had one magical 21-run game. So
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I saw that.
mean,
That is
that was kind of a football
Cubs
story
at
right there.
Pirates.
Yes.
Cubs, yeah.
Cubs at Pirates.
And they
Those
still lost the
Pirates, man.
series.
Those Pirates.
Hitting one over into the Pittsburgh of the river over there.
Allegheny.
Jesus Christ.
They were going off, and I mean, I wish those were probably spread out over the 4-game series.
Should have
but
done that.
looked pretty good. Seiya Suzuki looking
He
always
really
looks
good.
He's just
really
been looking good so far.
To start the season, 292 batting average, 413 on base, 554 slugging, and 966 on base percentage. Or OPS, sorry.
Ooh,
Like-
on base.
That's
Oh
every
my!
Almost every time. No, he's looking amazing. I mean, that's a rookie of the year kind of stat right there.
Yeah, no
Definitely.
kidding.
This one will be a quick one. The Reds
Bad.
won for their last 16.
That's tough.
I
There's
don't-
nothing you can do about
I don't
that.
know what to say. I mean, they have one win against the Cardinals, and it was like 4-1. Not much to talk about. I mean, even Tommy Pham's like, I'm just here to like boost my stats. I'm not even here to win. The only thing I guess we could talk about is Pham and the Luke Voigt slide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was I mean, I guess they're gonna go fight in someone's gym.
Yeah, I
in a
heard
few
that.
weeks or something.
That's just unlucky. I
Yeah.
think that was malicious.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to get to the bag. That's all it is. But nothing really to talk about there. I think the Reds are just
They're just
doggy
there.
doo doo. I mean,
Joey
3 for
Votto's
17.
mad. He's annoyed.
Yeah.
Hulk smash mode on his Instagram. I there's nothing here. I mean, it's just disappointment after disappointment. So we'll see what happens after. But yeah, Brewers looking all right. Not their best baseball. Split
Yeah,
series against with the
definitely
Cardinals. Sweep the Pirates twice. There's something there. I mean, it's the Pirates, so it makes sense. Take 2 or 3 against the Phillies. There you are. Some notables: Eric Lauer, 13 Ks. I mean, I guess you can give some to Angel Hernandez for that, but like, he looked pretty
that game
good.
was crazy. Like,
That's unreal.
That was a fun game.
even
That's
the
another
announcers were
talking
talking
point.
about that.
That's
yeah.
another talk later. 13 Ks, looking really good. I mean,
Uh-huh.
every pitcher they have seems to just do good. I don't know what, like,
It's weird.
that's a top 3
They have,
pitching, and then you have Freddie Peralta there as a number 4. Like, damn.
that was like the Tigers back in the day. Like, they had like
Yeah.
4 Cy Young people.
4 eventual Cy Youngs.
Crazy.
But yeah, Angel Hernandez causing frustration on both sides. Schwarber exploding. We'll get to that later. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Very fun game to watch. Hader going for the most saves in Brewers history. I think he's going to stay there. no matter.
He'll get
They
it.
will.
He will
It's
get
not
that.
even close. He'll get it.
But Hader is just saving every game, no matter
Mhm.
what. And I think he's like the backbone of this team right now. Like,
Looks like it.
Yeah.
he's like the goalie. When in doubt, just bank on him.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this team isn't playing their best baseball, but that's pretty decent considering that there's more potential. Like, Yelich could be playing better. Like,
They're not even playing
Yeah,
their
for
best
sure.
baseball, and they're
they're
14-7.
14-7.
So
So they're in a perfect spot. There's
they have a
nothing even to
very
push.
high ceiling.
Exactly.
Who was the one pitcher who like hit the wall and like broke his hand or something? Like,
that was
I-
either Freddie Peralta or what was the
I don't think it was Peralta. He was like younger, but he was really good. like before. He was a really good reliever.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
broke his hand.
Yeah.
That's
I
tough.
forget his name, but I know who you're talking about. He's really elite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just so much depth in this team in every area.
Their pitching is unreal.
Exactly.
It's all the pitching, I think. Like,
So-
they can score one run every game and still win.
Mhm.
The only thing they have to prove is the postseason. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens this year.
Yeah.
Pirates, hot trash. There's nothing. They take 3 or 4 against the Nationals. That's really all there is to talk about.
That's
in
not
terms
even
of winning.
remarkable. It's Pirates
It's
Nationals.
It's the Nationals. It's the AAA team against Juan Soto. Like, it's not nothing to watch. Will they even be good anytime soon? I mean, there's
No.
nothing even to question here about is there a chance. So I don't know who would watch the Pirates, but if you did, you took 3 or 4 against the Nationals. Congrats. Cardinals. They look pretty fun, especially with Nolan
Looking
Arenado.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no kidding. I like the Cardinals there.
Mhm.
They
I
waiting.
can't like the Cardinals because I'm a Royals fan.
Exactly.
They're fun.
They are fun. They're waiting on Jack Flaherty right now, but they take 2 or 3 against the Marlins, take 2 or 3 against the Reds, which is good. Take 2 or 3 against the Reds, as you should. But I mean, Nolan Arenado having a year, man. Like,
Yeah.
freaking 375 batting average, 444 on base percentage, 681 slugging, 1.125 OPS.
Yeah.
Like, I'd say he's the front runner as of right now.
Yeah, you just got
If you
into
had
a
to pick
fight with what's that guy's name? Like Stubby Clap.
Oh, right.
I enjoyed that. Like, fights are bad in baseball and all, but like that was funny.
Pete Alonso got tackled by
Uh-huh.
someone named Clapp, so that was fun to watch. But yeah, I think they're playing quality baseball. They have the best defense, though, in my opinion. They're like
Yeah.
White Sox
For
opposite.
sure.
They just, especially with Nolan
They're locked into
Arenado,
that.
entire outfield,
Uh-huh.
Bader, like O'Neal. This team is just really good defensively, and all it takes is just the bats to heat up and the pitching
Yep.
to kind of come in. So with Flaherty coming in, I think this will be a fun battle.
It's
between the
gonna be a
Cardinals and
while
Brewers.
before
Mhm.
Flaherty's back.
It will, but I mean 11-8 already. I mean that's
Yeah, no
pretty
kidding.
good. So I'm happy with the Cardinals. Looking pretty good to start the
Bunch
season.
of good arms.
So going into the NL East, we have
Woo.
the Braves. They're
That's a
looking
dogfight.
not too good.
They're looking fine. They're not
Yeah.
looking like World
We're,
Series.
we're
team.
talking about some World Series hangover right now. I think
This is what I was talking about.
they split with the
Happens.
Padres. They take 2 or 3 against the Cubs. That's pretty much all there is notably. Everything else is kind of a lost series for them.
Yep.
Acuna's back.
He is.
Yeah.
That's really
Jesus
fun.
himself
Dang.
is
Uh-huh.
finally
It's
here
fun.
to help the disciples
He'll be
figure
good.
their crap
I'm
out.
happy Acuna's back, and I have nothing
I
to
know.
do with
Yeah.
National League.
Acuna is amazing. I'm so happy that he's back, and we'll get into him later. But yeah, I'm hoping he can be some Jesus Christ conversion therapy for the team. And
Yeah.
kind of bring them back to as good as they were at the end of last year. Team's not quite hot yet. I think the pitching needs to step up.
Yep.
Like
For sure.
Freed, just all these
Ian
really good
Anderson.
pitchers. Anderson,
Uh-huh.
they're just not really doing that good when they are good. So I think once they step it up,
They'll figure it
they'll
out.
figure it out. I mean, the only thing that's really working for them right now is Olsen. He's really exciting right now,
Uh-huh.
to the point where I think Braves fans forgot even Freddie existed.
Yeah, no kidding.
They're
He's-
cheering
good
for
job.
Olsen, and I think Freddie kind of wiped their mind like a kid who got a new toy.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them though. I mean, they love him. I'm happy he's back around where he used to live. You know, hometown guy. So that's good for him. You know, leave the A's. You know, might as well. So yep, Marlins. Let's talk about them. We got 3 or 4 against the Phillies, 2 or 3 against the Braves, and they sweep the Nationals. Josh Chisholm, pretty good.
He's
you know?
pretty good, yeah.
Really exciting. We got a 298 batting average, 344 on base percentage, 667 slug, and 1.010 OPS.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I mean that's fun to watch. I expected a lot from lim last year, and he didn't seem to do too well.
Mhm.
But I'm hoping he does something now. So they're looking all right.
It could be a wild card candidate.
I think so, yeah.
They could be a wild card right now. at
Their
best.
their pitching is
Um,
pretty insane too.
yeah, so Contra.
Pablo
He's the
Lopez
ace right
is
there.
looking good too.
I love this team. So I'm hoping they get a little funky with it
Yeah.
and get into a wild card. That'd be fun to watch. But let's talk about my Mets. People I have to
Your-
win
Woo!
that
Yeah.
Lead the
division.
league and hit by pitch.
I believe in the Mets.
What was
I
it, like
don't.
20 hit by
Yeah,
pitches?
Yeah, they're at like 20 or something
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah,
It's wacky.
that's a big issue, but we won't talk about that. They take 2 of 3 against the D-backs, as they should. They take 3 or 4 against the Giants. They take 2 of 3 against the
Ooh.
Cardinals. That's a lot of takes right there.
No kidding.
I think this team is ready. You know,
Mhm.
I think
They should take the jump. Yeah.
I think they're ready to get to that next step and be a playoff team. They have combined no-hitter.
That was fun.
Second in Mets history. I wish I paid attention to that and watched that. 'Cause that sounds really fun.
Yeah, I
I
was
guess I
zoning
just
out
didn't
for that
notice.
one.
But that's really cool to see Diaz, come in clutch when he's been historically not the best.
And lose Diaz.
And lose Diaz. But yeah, that was fun to watch him step it up. And yeah, that was a really cool no-hitter to see, second in history. So, team's looking really good, leading division, 15-6.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this
They
team.
look really hot.
I want them to keep it up.
They're
because
scary.
I have them at top. Phillies. God, I want them to do good, but they just won't. They sweep the Rockies. That's the only series that they won.
Yep.
I don't know. They're 10-11, below 500. I think they have the ability to be above 500.
They're on a hot streak right now, if I'm not mistaken.
They
Yeah, I
are.
think
Bryce
so.
Harper's heating up
Uh,
after a slow start.
Kyle Schwarber got pissed, and now they're hitting.
Yep. I think
Do that a couple games, they'll be good.
I think he sparked some fire into their hearts.
Yeah.
They're kind of pulling the Angels method right now of just
Probably.
let's hit it until we win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a Blue Jays Angels strategy where you just offense only.
Rangers.
I don't know. The question right now is will they be a wild card? Because I think that's the best they can do. They're not beating any of those other
For
teams in
real.
that division. So
I think, I don't know, I think like their pitching might bite them in the end. Sure, they have pitching, but I don't know. I don't think it's like sustainable.
Their pitching's pretty. Their
Yeah.
starting pitching is pretty good.
their starting pitching gets.
I
better.
think they might miss out on the playoff shit by a couple games.
I think so too.
I could see
I
that.
don't.
It's been them pretty much every year, so.
It's working right now, but I don't think their long-term strategy of it doesn't matter how many errors you make as long as
Yeah.
you hit. I don't think that's gonna work.
It
Mhm.
didn't work for the Angels.
They're a strong team, though.
I mean, it's gonna take an offense like the Blue Jays for
Yeah,
that to work.
For real.
So moving on to the Nationals, nothing really to talk about there.
Yeah, they suck.
Juan Soto and his
He got
friends.
mad today.
Did he?
Yeah, he called for time and Blue didn't give it to him.
I
and then
saw
he stuck his
that.
bat out.
Yeah.
And it just
then it went
bounced
up.
off his bat and he got out.
Yeah.
And he was
So-
really mad, even though the pitcher was mid wind up. So
Alex Wood was pretty much about to throw the ball. So this team has been like gutted, in my opinion. I mean, all you can really praise that Gray becomes a Cy Young caliber pitcher and that Ruiz.
He's been looking good.
Ruiz has been looking pretty good, and Gray.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are really the only players you can bank on.
Mm.
Everything else is just kind of a work in progress. The notables, Juan Soto. I mean, there's nothing really else here.
he's the notable guy.
7-15. I don't know. Really bad start, I guess we could say. So, we'll see what they have in store, but I see a last place for them right now. So, that pretty much completes
Yeah, that's the
the
recap.
recap.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we got Mets, Brewers, and Dodgers right now leading all the divisions, and yeah, it's really competitive right now,
Yeah,
in my opinion. So,
All of them.
even the Rockies are like
The
they're
Rockies are
looking
there.
fine.
exactly.
I can see a world where like the Dodgers win the West and then the three other wildcard teams
Oh
also
my
come from the West.
Gosh,
That wouldn't be
imagine.
I mean, I look at the top four in the West, and I'm like, those are pretty good teams, man. I mean, for all top four to be above 500.
unless the
it's-
Rockies collapse. I think
Which
there's a likely
can't happen.
there's a
Uh,
high chance that they just collapse and lose all their games.
That
but
is very
Yep.
likely to happen. Do you want to go into a Angels or Dodgers?
let's do Dodgers.
All right. Dodgers recap. Let's get into some details. So, as I was saying, the home opener, everyone loves Freddie. I mean, you can pretty
Yeah.
much see him at second base, like almost tearing up. He's like fist bumping his dad when he hits a home run. Like, he loves here.
mm-hmm.
And I think it just puts a smile on everyone's face to see a guy like that do so good. I think he's
Yeah.
starting like 300 to start the season. So
311 right now.
he's got a good amount of home runs, I'm pretty sure.
He
At
has
least
3 home runs, 9 RBIs. He doesn't strike out a lot, and .8 WAR. So
He's really
playing
good.
really well.
And I mean, they can have Olsen. I'll take Freddie.
Yeah,
I'll be
exactly.
happy if you're willing to give him up. So I mean,
I'll take a generational hitter over
exactly.
whoever else we
I
have,
mean,
right?
This man's amazing. So everyone loves Freddie. But home opener on my birthday, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Reds get crushed. What else can you ask for? So I mean, this team is getting injured with Trinan.
A lot of
Heaney,
pitchers out for us.
A lot of pitchers out, but I think this
Uh-huh.
time they're prepared.
Yeah.
They've taken
They got
precautions by
guys.
signing players, and these injuries aren't really affecting us as much. So I'm happy to see that we're ready, and we still are playing great baseball.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Without the Diamondbacks series at all.
Yeah.
So, hot players to note: Cody Bellinger, Trey Turner, Gavin Lux, Freddie Freeman. All those guys are on really hot starts. But more like concerning is Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, and Justin Turner.
Yeah,
That's
that's
tough.
who I put,
JT kind of making the contract look like
He's
that last
old.
year was a little.
Yeah.
Last year, not great. I mean,
But
the beginning was
decent.
fine. The end of last year, he suffered a little bit. He went like, what,
Mhm.
0 for 60 at
Right.
the end of the
Yeah.
year.
But
It's tough.
that is something consistent with his career as in starting really hot and tapering down, minus like 10 on his batting average almost every month. So I'm used to him slowing down and having a really good start, but with him not having a really good start, that's
It's
what's
just gonna
concerning.
get
Like
worse.
if you're not doing what you normally do, how's it gonna go up? Max Muncy, that injury, I think that's what's holding him
It's
back
probably
right now.
just the injury.
It's definitely that. He's still getting on base. His batting average is
He
in the
is.
100s.
Yeah, he's still
and his
walking.
on base percentage is in the 300s.
Yeah.
Which
How do you
you
walk?
never see. But
He's
He's
striking
doing it.
out a lot too.
Mhm.
I think he has like the most tied for the most with Mookie Betts, like 16 strikeouts. So
That's tough.
speaking of Mookie Betts,
he is swinging it though. So
Mookie Betts
there's
looking
something.
really,
He sucks.
really quiet and bad. I think he had 4
Yeah.
Ks against the Padres in the last game of the series.
But he did hit 2 home runs.
He did
the
hit 2
previous
home
day.
runs, so I mean he's showing us that he is not completely dead. It's possible, but
I think a warm up since he's already won an MVP, but
I think so.
I
too.
don't know. I don't want to compare it to Cody Bellinger. Mookie Betts is obviously way better, but
I don't think so either. I think
I
this
don't
is
know.
just a bad start.
it's a bad
considering,
start.
Yeah.
He'll bounce back from that.
He's not injured anymore. I just hope that he can figure it out now that the injury is over. No more hip
Yeah.
issues. He can just kind of be himself. So
Uh
Cody Bellinger, we'll talk about him more later, but he's looking really, really.
huh. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about him now.
I want to talk about him now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Cody Bellinger. Let me pull up some stats about Cody. Where are you, Cody?
He was named the NL Player of the Week last week,
He was.
which
That's cool.
yeah, it's great.
Um,
304 average, 870 slugging, 3 home runs, and 7 RBIs.
He's
He-
hot.
Way better from last year.
He's looking.
I think he hit
really
10
good.
home runs all of last year. He already has 4, so he's getting up there to beat last year's
Mhm.
record. Like, that's pretty good.
I knew he was gonna come in clutch. I didn't draft him just in case my 2%
didn't,
chance
yeah.
that he wouldn't
Yeah,
be
right.
back was true. So I didn't want to like bank on that on like
Uh-huh.
a good pick. But I knew he was gonna come back.
Exactly.
I know he can figure it out. Especially hearing that he's literally dedicating like hours every day just to look at hitting and just to try and figure
Yeah.
out because his glove isn't the issue. He's
It's
a gold
not.
glover.
He's so good at
He's probably
defense.
gonna get a gold glove at least some point in his career. Another one.
Definitely.
But he needs to figure out the stick, and I think he is. He's like
Yeah.
he's not swinging at those high pitches that he shouldn't anymore,
Uh-huh.
and his
way more
eye is
disciplined.
more defined. He knows what he wants to search for, and he's not weak to hit. It's not just arm. He's getting that
Actually getting it.
elastic power that he had in 2019,
Yeah.
where his
Mhm.
body just seems to like rubber band into the ball and,
And
throw it.
you know when it's gone, too.
You
which
know,
is-
it's a belly
That's
bump.
pretty sick.
So he's looking really sharp, and
He just has to have like his own stance. He can't be changing it up every other
he
year.
can't be
like,
doing
yeah.
that.
Just stick with
annoys
it.
me. So, Cody Bellinger's hot. I'm enjoying that.
Uh-huh.
Trey Turner looking really good as well. Really good hitting streak. I was
Yeah.
really enjoying that. Gavin Lux continuing where he left off last year. Really hot.
So hot.
Starting to quiet down a little bit for the past like few games.
I
But
guess.
he's off to a really good start.
Uh-huh.
So, a lot of players right there. We can talk about Will Smith though.
Oh my gosh,
Is
Will Smith, yeah.
the best catcher? in
No.
MLB?
He's definitely up there.
What
I
about the
think
NL?
in the NL, I
yeah.
think
I
the
think
best
he's
catcher.
100% the best catcher in the NL.
Yeah,
AKA better than Real Muto.
I would say so. Realmuto is really.
He was on my team.
He's cold right now.
Kept striking out over and over.
I have him now.
He's in a slump.
I wanted to pick him up so bad.
I have him.
And you took him
When he
right
gets good,
before I was gonna pick
when
him.
he gets good, I'm gonna flip him for a month.
If he
For
gets
money.
20
Yeah,
for a month.
for sure.
Is Andrew Heaney fixed?
He
Not
has
right now.
He has
He's out.
in 2 starts. He has 16 strikeouts. That's actually crazy to me. This guy like lost all except 1 year with the Angels, and then now he comes to the Dodgers, where we fix pitchers, and he already has 16 strikeouts and 2 starts.
We basically walked up to him, said, "Hey, your fastball's really bad. Stop
Uh-huh.
throwing it as much." And then we said, "Hey, here's a new slider. This one's way better.
Yeah, exactly.
Take this." And now he's just dominant.
Uh huh.
So, I mean, I guess that's the reason they signed him, is they saw a quick fix that they could do real quick, and all of a sudden he's looking way better in the past 2 starts.
Yeah.
It's 2 starts, so
Yeah.
that's
I
why
think
it's still
he played the Twins and probably like the D-backs or something.
He played a more decent team in the second.
It might have been the
outing,
Padres
but
actually.
It might have
I
been,
don't know.
but
yeah.
he looked pretty good. So,
Wow.
yeah, Andrew Heaney's proven to be pretty
Mhm.
good, injury-ridden though, so we'll see when
Yep.
he comes back. That's a bad injury, shoulder right there.
The
So,
Dodgers
we'll see.
have an interesting approach to pitching. Like, a lot of teams like their pitchers to throw a lot of fastballs. Like, I mean, obviously the fastball is the best pitch in baseball
Mhm.
because you throw it like more than 50% of the time on average. But like Kershaw, his slider is by far the pitch he throws the most. It's like at
Mhm.
45%. I think I
Yeah.
saw on Baseball Savant. So, the Dodgers aren't making their pitchers throw fastballs, and they aren't like encouraging it, and it's leading to some weird development things where pitchers develop way quicker because they're not trying to figure out what's wrong with their fastball. They just say no fastball, move on.
Mhm.
Interesting.
For sure.
It's an interesting approach, but it's getting the job done.
It's working.
Definitely.
Kershaw, just a little
So
history
good
watch.
right
4
now.
Ks away from most in Dodger history.
That's fun.
It's crazy.
So we'll see tonight. I think he's gonna get there tonight, but
Does he start tonight?
He
does
does,
start
yeah.
tonight. 7:00.
It's against the Tigers
Tune in
too,
and watch
so
history.
I think he definitely could. I can't because MLB TV has blackouts,
I
but
don't
yeah,
know if I have sports tonight.
DirecTV,
it's
baby.
annoying. I wish.
Is
Played
Kershaw
so well.
Kershaw still the ace for the Dodgers?
I
Because
Yeah.
Bueller says
No.
so.
I don't think he's.
Bueller said that Kershaw's the ace.
Yeah, Kershaw's still the ace. Unless he gets injured, then it's going to be Bueller.
There's a funny thing though. I think he's had a strong start, but I don't know. Bueller's been consistent these past few years, and Kershaw really hasn't, except for this year. So
I think
I don't know.
Kershaw being in the 5 spot tells us that he's the ace, which is backwards than what you might think.
Yeah.
They wanted to give him the extra time
Mm-hmm.
to develop and to not get hurt. Like, their the pitching staff's number one priority was make sure that Kershaw is the best pitcher on the Dodgers.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
he is right now.
I think he's
Yeah.
the leader, at least.
He
Yeah.
is the. That's
definitely the
If
leader.
you wanted to
100%.
find Ace as the most experienced, I guess Kershaw is. If you wanted to find
Most-
Ace as
the
the
best.
best,
The best.
I say you do Bueller because
Bueller.
he's fresh, more dominant, way more pitches. But I mean, I get why people might say Kershaw's Ace because they're thinking Ace means
Yeah.
the most experienced, the veteran, the leader.
What's
I
the?
think we still have to wait and see a little bit to see who's the ace of the Dodgers for this season, because it's been 2 starts, so
Yeah.
For Heaney at least, it's more
I
like
think
3 or
it-
4.
3 or 4 starts.
Right.
It's who would you rather put in a game 7? I think that's the best way to determine that.
Yeah.
I would put in Bueller in that situation though,
I would
but
as well.
I don't know.
Um,
Kershaw's still
A little
good,
bit of
though.
highlights. Justin Turner, scoop at third, did a really good play, in my opinion, because he's still a third baseman. So he
Yeah.
DH. Can he still do it? He looks pretty good at the hot corner still.
Yeah.
Not as good as he used to be, but I mean he's proven
Still
to do
solid.
it. Bueller threw a complete game shutout.
That's fun.
Mhm.
That was fun to watch. Obviously it's against the Diamondbacks, but if there's any team you can
Yeah.
do it against, I guess it's them.
That was
100 and
first
something
one.
pitches.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Cy Young winner.
Maybe.
Maybe. He's got to step it up the rest of the season. Kenley comes back home against the Braves, or against the Dodgers. And
Yeah.
pitches against us, and Freddie gets to see his old teammates, gets to see his friends. His son gets to hang out with his buddies that he used to know. And, yeah, I think he kind of saw them and realized that he misses them a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially since he hasn't seen them since the parade before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think Freddie got a little enjoyment out of that, just to kind of feel at home for a little bit. And I think he will, especially when he goes to
Do you see his
Atlanta.
son run over to Dansby Swanson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he's going to really start feeling the emotions when he goes to Atlanta
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
in a few months. So
And they all boo him because they like Matt Olson better.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. But yeah, I mean, Dodgers are looking pretty good. I mean,
Looking
all
good,
you can
yeah.
say is, you missed against the Diamondbacks. But that shit always happens,
Yeah.
The
it's-
D-backs and the
Pisses
Rockies.
you off.
They always
Yeah.
get that one series.
It pisses
against
you
us.
off, but I don't know.
It
I
usually
get,
happens in the
right
end, but
now-
they got us now.
the Dodgers are the enemy because they're too good in baseball.
Yeah.
So they're looking really good. That's all I can say.
Their best test for the season right now. They put the Giants in LA Tuesday and Wednesday. That
That's a fun
in my opinion, that's must see TV for any baseball fan.
That is
I
right
think
there.
that'll be
Yeah.
really interesting.
I'm gonna watch that.
But like I really like Tyler Anderson so far. Tyler Anderson has been a good get. I think we got him from the Mariners, right? He's been pretty good. Also the Dodgers bullpen, like you previously mentioned, it's just prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a lot of veteran arms. Good to see. I think that'll help out later on in the season.
Yeah.
So
Is that it for the Dodgers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. Nothing
Let's
too crazy.
talk about the Angels.
Which is actually more exciting. In
Oh
opinion.
my God!
I had
I'm
a lot
so
of fun
excited.
watching
I'm
that.
so excited.
I had a lot of fun watching.
First things first. Last night against the White Sox, we had a bullpen game. 1 run allowed all game.
looking good.
Hey man.
Mike Myers is horrible. He's the exception to the rule. He came in, almost lost the game for us, loaded the bases up, and then Raisel Iglesias came in and got the job done.
Yep.
Taylor Ward.
Oh yeah.
Woo-hoo.
Uh-huh.
He's feeling like this room right now. In the last 7 days, 6 games, 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 doubles, a triple,
Jeez.
4 home
Four.
runs, 6 walks over the season, a .381 batting average. It's
Jesus.
unbelievable.
I think
Taylor
that's like
Ward.
Machado's numbers right now.
It is. It's. I'm gonna be honest. I think that this little hot streak from Taylor Ward is a fluke, and he's
It
not gonna
is.
be this good all season.
But dang, that's
I
fun
think
to
it
watch.
shows that he's going to be.
How old
He's
is
going to
he?
be above replacement level all season. I think. He has the highest on base percentage. He has the highest slugging out of anyone. Ward leads the league in OPS. Mike Trout is second in OPS. The Angels are looking pretty good right now. Mike Trout has the highest adjusted OPS plus out of anybody in the MLB right now. The Angels outfield is getting it done. David Fletcher was on IL 10, came back last night. 2 doubles. We're just on fire right now, and I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a little bit because we've been playing the Guardians and the White Sox.
that could be it.
That's a little bit of it, I think. But if
the
you're a
be-
mediocre team,
Yeah.
this doesn't happen. Even when you're playing the Guardians, the Guardians are a mediocre team.
Taylor Ward is 23, so I guess that shows that the Angels farm isn't as bad as we initially thought. So
I think that you just get lucky every once in a while.
I don't know.
The starting
Maybe.
pitching has looked pretty good. I mean, it's obviously not lights out like other teams. Dodgers, their starting pitching is way better. Shohei Ohtani, his ERA is above 4. Reed Detmers, his ERA is 6 and change. But Patrick Sandoval doesn't have an earned run unless he's pitching today. He's probably pitching today, and he gave up 4.
I think the game finished. I think they pitched after the rain delay.
They started playing after the rain delay. It was in the 8th inning before this game started, or this podcast started. So the starting pitching is looking pretty good. I think their ERA is just super high because Joe Madden just takes them out at the first sign of trouble. Like it'll be like the 3rd inning, and they'll score a run, and then Joe Madden will take them out, and that leads to an inflated ERA.
Yeah, fair
I think
enough.
that's part of it. I don't think that's all of it. So our starting pitching looks pretty good. Bullpen looks really good. Hitting looks really good. It's gonna be a fun year.
I'm
for the
excited.
Angels. It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun.
You know, I wanted to put them first in that division. I was just too scared.
The Astros.
I was like, the
Uh-huh.
Astros and the Mariners, man. You know, that's... So, I mean, I put the Astros above the Angels. I still believed in the Mariners after
Yeah.
what I saw last year. So, I still put them in the lead. But I wanted to put the Angels at the front because I felt so confident about them, and I feel like they can get it done. Like, all these players that are injured are back.
Yeah.
And they have a little bit more pitching. So,
And-
I'm excited.
People have said that we depend on Noah Syndergaard. Like he's the keystone to the arch. Like if he's gone, then everything will kind of fall to pieces. He missed his start yesterday. He got sick or like had a stomach flu or whatever the other guys have had. Just called in like 2 hours before the game. Said, "Hey, I'm not feeling that great," and the bullpen just took care of it.
Yeah.
So I don't
We
think.
got you.
I think they showed that Noah Syndergaard is not in fact the keystone of the Angels. He's not the part that causes everyone to collapse later.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I'm excited, man.
It's gonna be.
I want to see them do good.
I think
I've had
it's
fun watching the game.
definitely like a different start for them like in years past. Usually they're either like really really good or like not too good. Now they're like actually like kind of beating somewhat good teams. I think
Yeah.
not a lot of people suspected the White Sox to be like this bad, but it is the White Sox still, and if they continue this, then I think they'll be okay. So, yeah, overall good start.
We had something like 13 hits the other night. It's just
Uh-huh.
some fun baseball, you know?
It's fun to watch, man.
It is fun.
The Angels are an exciting team. More exciting than the Dodgers.
In the top,
This is expected.
we have five
Yeah,
Because you don't
guys.
expect it.
Exactly.
We have 5 guys in the top 30 fastest MLB players.
It's pretty good.
And Shohei Ohtani is like 31 or 32 or something, so he's just outside of that list. Let's talk about some events that have been going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of these. Kyle Schwarber is mad at Angel Hernandez.
Who isn't?
No one,
I have.
no Syndergaard tweeted, "I stand in solidarity with
Yep.
Angel Hernandez."
So he's with
Angels for Angel was his line. So Angel Hernandez, I don't think he needs to be umpiring home plate.
He can still umpire, just not behind home plate.
Exactly.
I think.
So
Schwarber was pretty bad.
I think framing is a part of baseball, and it should stay a part of baseball. I like watching catchers get those calls where they just like bring the glove up
Uh-huh.
and it gets called. It's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. Umpiring needs to stay a part of baseball.
Definitely. Don't
The
bring-
electronic strike zone can happen. I don't think it should happen. It's stupid if it happens. I think how it does need to happen if the MLB's umpire association doesn't learn what's going on. Like, it's cool that you want all your umpires to have a job, but they need to realize that if Angel Hernandez keeps calling balls and strikes, there's going to be no more home plate umpires.
Exactly.
They're just going to be gone.
Yeah.
They're going to lose their job forever. It's not a matter of one guy losing his job. And I think they can just, instead of having him ump at home plate, they can just put him in third base and then have a guy who's better. Like,
Yeah.
you can still have the same number of umpiring appearances, just not calling home plate. It's bad, is what it is. It's really bad. And Kyle Schwarber was not happy, and I was not happy, and Andrew McCutcheon, standing out in center field, was, like, laughing. He's like, yeah, Kyle Schwarber's right. Like, it's a problem today.
On that Hader versus Schwarber one, I think the camera caught like Schwarber or Hader like smiling a little bit when.
Yep. No,
got
he
that
smiled.
call.
He's-
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yep, okay.
Yeah.
There was that
I don't
slider.
understand.
Like, not even
Yeah,
the last
right.
call of that. Not even Kyle Schwarber got mad. There was a slider. It was 4 baseballs off of the plate. Like, it wasn't even close, and it got
Still
called.
called it.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, even, it can't be happening in playoff games.
No, it
Definitely
can't.
not.
Like, this stuff shouldn't be happening, and these misses
general.
are, like, incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Just Angel Hernandez's entire, like, pitch
Yeah.
is just awful. Like, he just misses the most out of anyone. And there's good umpires. Obviously, they should be...
Doing that.
There's some
They should
really
be
good
there.
umpires.
There
The
are.
Angels haven't had a... None of the Angels games have been, like, horrible since...
Yeah,
in a
not
long time.
crazy. So, I don't know. I think we can try to improve the umpires, but if that experiment doesn't work in a few years, like, we need to preserve the fairness of an at bat.
Exactly.
And we can't just keep having these balls be called strikes, these strikes be called balls. Like, the hitter needs to like have security in his at bat. Each at bat shouldn't be different.
Exactly.
If you want to
Should all
actually
be-
get good and get consistent, each at bat should be the
The
same
same.
for you.
I think even
So-
if umpires have a little different strike zone, like some umpires' strike zone is wider,
Yeah.
that's okay. To a certain extent. You can
Angel
throw that in there.
Angel Hernandez.
It's
Right.
okay. The
George.
issue is, like, I'm looking at that umpire scorecard you have on your computer. He doesn't really expand the strike zone.
It's just a
It's
couple.
very
of them.
wide.
It's just random. Like, if
This is what
if a
the
pitch
fear
is outside of the strike zone, it's random. I think
This
if
one
you have a
actually-
consistently
Yeah,
sure,
slightly
sure.
larger strike zone, it's okay. Because then the hitters can have their first at bat, say, ooh, that wasn't a strike, blue, and then come up for their next at bat and know that he's going to call that.
Mhm.
You know?
Yep.
I think it's okay if the hitters know that this is going to get called. But with Angel Hernandez, you could have a perfect pitch right on the corner, painted the corner, called a ball, and then you can have a slider 4 balls off the plate inside
Call
that's
that.
way farther out of the strike zone. Call that a strike, and it
Yep.
just doesn't make
Right.
sense, and the hitters are just kind of standing there hoping that this one's called the ball.
Yeah, I get that logic. I just, in my opinion, I feel like it should be preserved. Like, the distance between bases is the exact same every
Yeah.
game. You can rely on it. It's gonna be the same. It won't
But
be.
umpires.
It won't be
yeah.
80 feet, like tomorrow's game, and it won't be 100 the next game. It'll be 90 feet. And I
That'd
feel
be
like
fun.
in a
Mad
and you
different
might be
day
able
every
to
time.
each game you might be able to get used to, okay, this game it's going to be 100, and after like I get on base twice I'll be able to get used to
Yeah.
running 100 feet instead. But in my opinion, that shouldn't be a thing. You should be able to run 90 feet every time, and the circumstances of the game should be the same. And if you're going to change the strike zone for each game, that's changing the circumstance of each game, and it's not making it as consistent and fair for the hitters to perform the same way as they should every game.
Mm.
I mean, ideally that would be the case, but like umpires are bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Umpires
case for
are-
Robo.
Yeah,
If you want it to be consistently every time, you need to make it.
the younger
Certain.
umpires, like there are so many umpires in the MLB. They come up and they just have a good game, and they just call 'em most. There's gonna be missed calls here and there.
Mhm.
Just happens. What are
Yeah.
you gonna do? I think that's fine. I think the issue comes when you have Angel Hernandez, who, I think it was like 5 or 6 strikeouts were on balls
They were-
outside of the zone.
They were up.
It was
and
not even
outside.
close.
Yep.
Yeah,
Caught him every
I
time.
mean, Kyle Schwarber's going, you're calling him up, you're calling him down, you're calling him left, you're calling him right for both sides. Both
Yeah.
sides.
We
It's-
both hate it.
I think.
A fun fact: 34,000 calls were missed in 2018. 34,000 pitches were incorrect.
I think
That's
the-
just
yeah, it's
that
bad.
can't happen.
Can't
Yeah.
That literally can't happen. Like if that's like you can't incorrectly judge the touchdown by like a few inches. Like you just can't let that happen. It's the same, and we know what it is. And he's not safe sometimes over here and not safe over time. We have a replay for that because we want it to be
The
right.
replay does not work.
We need to fix that too. We have a replay
Make some
to make
yeah.
it exact. And if it's
Uh-huh.
not going to work, what's the point of it?
There
You know?
isn't really.
It's useless. And I think we need to fix it. Things need to be consistent.
I think if the umpire association learns that this can't happen or they're gonna get replaced, then and starts putting in
They
better
gotta actually
umpires.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think the number of missed calls is like. I don't think it tells us a lot. Like saying there's like 1,000 missed calls in the last season.
That'd be a lot better.
Yeah,
I would love that.
that'd be
Exactly.
pretty good. I think you gotta go with a percentage like an umpire. If he gets
Mhm.
like 90 something percent, 95%, 96%, and within a certain distance of the strike zone, obviously if it's like a wild pitch and he calls it a strike, that's like unacceptable. But
Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to give the umpires a chance, but not at much cost.
we gotta
Exactly.
make a
It's slowly getting towards where you need to put that
Yeah,
in.
we have to start making some warnings, posters
Yeah.
to the umpire, like, hey, your job's about to like, end if you don't
Yeah.
figure this out, dude.
I think one alternative is you still have umpires, but like every call that they miss, they have to make like the other call. I don't know. It's just an idea, but like I think that could like help it out. Like
maybe there should be fines. Maybe there should be
and Matt, that'd actually be interesting. Like
Yeah,
every
fine
there
for
every
that.
missed call they
number
get,
of
they're fined.
You lose $10.
Yeah.
Like $20 or something. That'd be really
Or just
fun.
fined for the game. Like if they do like
yeah.
like
If they
the
get
worst
like an
umpire of the
80%,
week, yeah.
if they get an 80% call rate, they just lose $1,000 or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
Because
something has to be done.
I
There's
don't
so many solutions out there
Exactly.
to make umpires better,
Uh,
and none of them
they
are
don't
being
want-
implemented,
yeah.
and none of them are. They're not even considering it.
Mm-mm.
They're just going straight to the electronic strike zone.
I'll give
Yeah.
umpires a chance, but like, not for much longer. This is insane.
Stupid.
Umpires.
Speaking of like the unions, the umpires union, the players union,
Unions.
the MLB, and the players union have decided that Trevor Bauer will not play for 2 years.
Bye, buddy.
He's
Yeah.
never playing again.
It's crazy.
He's gonna appeal his decision.
Yep.
The appeal isn't gonna work, and then he's never gonna play in the MLB again. He's gonna go to Korea or Japan because no one wants the PR.
Yeah.
Dodgers don't want the PR. I mean, maybe some random team will pick him up for cheap, like the A's or something. Like
Yeah.
to
Goes back
bring
to the
people
Reds.
into the seats. I think.
Yeah, that might
could
be it.
An option.
But I think he will spend some time in Oakland, and then they won't want him anymore because it's boring now, and then he'll just go somewhere else to play baseball.
Was it already decided that he's not gonna have an appeal, or like
No,
was?
And then he gets an appeal.
Okay.
So if his appeal works,
I
he'll
feel like
play
it
again.
might work.
if his appeal goes through and they say, yeah, you're not getting suspended, then he'll play Major League
I think
Baseball
he has a
again.
chance because the appeal's not through MLB, right? It's through a third party that evaluates.
Yeah.
if the
Yeah.
appeal is
I think he's
fixed.
suing her, so that's why it's out of the
He's also
MLB.
doing a suing against like Washington Post. He's got
Uh-huh.
a lot going on right now.
Yep.
And Marcell Ozuna is playing again.
He was
Yeah.
only suspended for 20 games.
Those
and-
two-
Excuse me.
right?
Those two are not, they don't work. You can't have them both.
Have to be
The
accountable.
MLB just hates Trevor Bauer because he like licked his hand and stuck a baseball on there.
Yeah.
And he's like, the MLB, what they're doing makes no sense because I can just lick my hand and stick a baseball on there.
You're gone.
And they're like,
Yeah, right.
they don't like the negative PR, I guess. I don't know. It seems like a personal vendetta against Trevor Bauer a little
I
bit.
think so. Yeah. I think 2 years is a little absurd because he wasn't guilty in
And
the
he,
trial at
he
all.
served a year. He
He
already
did,
served a whole
pretty
season
much.
of administrative leave.
I think
I mean-
any more suspension than the end of this year is outrageous.
Yeah, no
Exactly.
kidding.
Was the money that the Dodgers paid for him, is that dead money now, or can we
He
still?
doesn't get money during his suspension. So what we already
Yeah.
paid him is we paid him. But anything
But
from now
we'll
on,
get that money back, right?
we'll get about 60 mil. I heard back.
60
Yeah,
million.
but not
Yeah.
paying him, yeah.
Yeah. So
Still though.
Cody Bellinger's contract just got stolen from
We got
Trevor
that money
Bauer or
back, yeah.
something like that. Trey
Unreal.
Turner's about to sign something right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He might not come back.
Yeah. I think his final stat line for the Dodgers was like 17 starts or something,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy.
I'm
It
just
was-
happy, at least if he's not pitching, we're not paying. Like,
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly.
I was hoping he at least came back when we paid him, or he left and we don't pay him. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's just a waste. I'd rather pay someone else if we're losing money.
Yep.
So
So do you think he'll go play in Korea or Japan? If he can't come back to the MLB, if he gets suspended and he tries to join a team and no one wants him, will he? He seems like the kind of guy that wants to keep playing baseball, right? Like he's
Definitely.
making YouTube videos that are like
Uh-huh.
demonstrating how he throws a slider.
yeah, no, he'll join a league.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know what
He could join Puig in Korea,
Yeah.
tear it up.
Honestly, dude.
Well, like in 2 years, he's going to be 33. Most pitchers are dominant still. So
Yeah.
I think he'll be good.
Yeah.
Even if.
The MPB is good. It's like competitive. It's not,
Mm-hmm.
so he could go there. A lot of options for him. One of them is not playing in the MLB though if he gets suspended. I
Yeah.
think.
That's
I'm
actually
interested
so
to see.
tough.
Interested to see how that appeal goes.
Very strange the way that MLB is handling their cases. Let's talk about something a little more fun. Few topics that are a little more fun. The Royals released their City Connect jersey. I want to go over all the City Connect jerseys as they come out on this
Mm-hmm.
little show. Do you like them?
They're all right. I kind of like the cap. It's like dripping. That's kind of cool. It's a little unique.
It's the City of Fountains
Yeah.
is the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know that. That's actually kind of cool. I'm not gonna. I think their jersey's a little boring. You know, it's just like the logo and then it's just color and then the
Interesting.
number. But the R with the crown, that's kind of cool, and like all the stuff on the side, like all that. That's
Yeah.
kind of interesting. If I had to rate this out of 10, I would rate it like a 6. I don't know.
Interesting.
They're all right, but nothing crazy.
What are you thinking, Neil?
I don't know. It just seems not. It's a little similar to the kind of blue that they already have going, but I mean, I consider these as sort of boring as the Dodgers ones, where it's just
As
like,
boring as the Dodgers.
it's like nothing really changed. You just made it look a little different and funky.
It changed. It's not that close.
I guess
to
I'd give them an extra point for the new logo.
Well, it's like their blue
The K's.
jersey.
Let's find it.
So
yeah. So this is
it's-
their.
I think it's a different shade of blue.
It's a different. That's navy, and this is
Yeah.
like royal blue.
Royal
So
blue.
this
if
is
we're gonna
super
get
bright.
that
Uh-huh.
picky, then sure, but like nothing really too different. I mean, I guess there's these, and then there's the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Where they just completely like tore up the colors. So
What are their colors, like blue and yellow? I
Yeah,
think?
it's blue and yellow.
Yeah, like lemons looking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all right. Nothing really exciting. Like nothing where I'm like, oh my god, that's like really cool. So
I really like the aesthetic of it, and I really like the logo,
That's unique, yeah.
but it's pretty similar. I don't know. I'd give it like a 7.5, maybe.
I'll give it a 7.
The scale is Dodgers get 2, and the White Sox get 10 on their City Connect. So that's where the Royals fall for me. I didn't like the Astros. It looked weird.
It was
just
like
weird.
A 5.
I don't know.
If
I'd give it a 5 probably for that one too.
Nothing too fun.
I think the Astros was like the throwback with like a little bit more on it.
Yeah.
Like that
a
one.
modern throwback.
Those throwback jerseys are, in my opinion,
Yeah,
like some
I
of the
wish
best
the
though.
Dodgers
I
did.
like those.
Wish
Yeah.
the Dodgers did more Brooklyn throwbacks.
Oh,
It'd be
for
so
sure.
fun. They don't do them. I don't know why.
It's the same color scheme too. They just have to change the wording.
Yeah, it'd be so fun to see
Whatever,
like Brooklyn
right?
throwbacks. The B
Yeah.
on the hat. I'd love it.
Acuna's back.
Yes.
In his first appearance, he went 1 for 4 with a single. So that's
We'll
cool.
get back into it.
Do you think it'll take him a long time to get back into the swing of things? He didn't even miss a year, right?
He missed like what was it?
About a year.
a-
I'd say
Like
a year
I
to
think
go.
half a season about.
half a season.
I think he missed
A little bit more.
213 days, and part of that was during the off season.
Yeah.
Alright, so under a year.
I think it could take like a month since he had like what was it, a major shoulder injury
Yeah.
crashing to there. You need your shoulder to hit, so I think
you
I think it'll be a month about, but he's an MVP player.
He is an MVP caliber player. We could see like a Bellinger kind of situation where he's
Yeah.
just not
Maybe.
comfortable on
Maybe.
his feet, and his shoulders kind of just doesn't feel right, and then he keeps striking out.
We'll see. I'm excited. I liked watching him.
He
was
should have
exciting and fun.
Should have a huge comeback. Another player who's having a fun time out on the baseball field, Manny Machado.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
2 WAR so far.
This guy's carrying me in fantasy baseball.
He
His
is
X is
res-
cracked.
He is responsible for 2 of the Padres' wins so
Uh-huh.
far.
Yeah.
Like,
Just by himself. It's crazy.
you could see like a 10 WAR season out of Manny Machado if he keeps this up. That's unreal.
Yeah, all the way to the end.
Yeah, same in the way. He's a dark horse MVP, bro.
If
He really is.
He's a dark horse MVP.
if he does even half of this, then he'll be in the race for MVP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he
And
looks
that's
really good, man.
wild because the Padres were so bad last year at the end of the year.
Mhm.
He heard Tatis was out, so he's like, I'll just double my numbers to make up for
Exactly.
Yeah, no kidding.
Probably stole his talent too.
it. That's why Tatis is like breaking and so
Yeah.
fragile. Machado just stole his essence and now he's using it to play baseball.
Yeah.
So
Rolled his ankle playing soccer, broke his wrist, riding a motorcycle.
How stupid
Yeah,
can you
what-
get?
dude.
Like, what was the contract? It was like $350 million.
He's still getting
13 years.
paid, bro.
Still getting
He is,
paid
he
for
is.
like sitting on the couch and doing whatever.
Yeah,
Like-
his contract has like limits. Like, please don't.
The
do
limits
this.
are,
Please don't.
Don't
do
ride a
this.
motorcycle.
They
Yeah,
might have
yeah,
put in
yeah.
the limits like after he signed it, because at first he was like humble and now he like has
Might
an
have
ego.
amended it, but
Probably.
His contract has a clause where he can't ride a motorcycle.
Yeah,
It's
now.
in his contract.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's
it
Oh,
was.
was it
before his
before?
injury.
It was.
And then
Oh,
the
okay.
Padres released a statement that said, "Yeah, we know it's in his contract, but like he's like an MVP type player, and we kind of still want him on our team. And we
Uh-huh.
don't want to break our relationship with this guy."
It's just a monkey, man.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be doing stupid stuff like that when you're.
Manny Machado? 11 hits in his last 6 games, 2 doubles,
Crazy.
3 RBIs. He's
Mhm.
just going at it.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, he's having a fun time. Not as good as Taylor Ward though.
Yeah, right.
Technically
No,
not.
no one's
Technically
stopping the
not.
legend of Taylor Ward.
Hey, greatest player in the MLB. Okay, last thing, we're wrapping it up. Are you optimistic about your team?
Yeah.
You think they're gonna
Yeah.
pull it off? They're gonna beat the Giants this year?
Yeah, I mean they're kind of boring, but like
Mhm.
that's.
Stop
It's
Dodgers.
the bread
Like,
and butter of the
no one who
Dodgers.
doesn't like baseball would watch this team because it's just basic good
It's
baseball.
traditional.
Yeah.
No one really
All the
watches it.
fundamentals.
But for me, like I'm having a hell of a time watching this team beat everyone,
Mhm.
and it's just quality, day after quality day. There's no highlights, but like. It's the highlight of my day, you know.
Yeah.
See the Dodgers win, like they're doing really good, and I'm optimistic. There's nothing really to doubt, you know. Like they're
Yeah.
first in the division. They were consistent. They never really have a good first half and bad bad like next half. There's no really bad halves for them. They're just
They're not
optimistic.
really the first in the division right now. I mean, they have less wins than the Padres.
They do.
They've technically,
Percentage-wise.
but yeah.
Percentage-wise.
I think the Padres have one more win than us.
Yeah.
They
But
have.
still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have less loss. So.
Yep. I like seeing the Dodgers get all these different pitchers. That's, I don't know, like being a Patriots fan, I like seeing them like taking these guys and just like transform them. That's what the Dodgers do, and that's like really interesting, like to see. And these guys like from nobodies to like Cy Youngers.
It's cool to see people
It really is.
like Andrew Heaney is just
Yeah.
came to the Dodgers. They gave him some green beans.
Mm-hmm. Now he's just the best pitcher.
Popeye looking.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I just like what like the entire Dodgers philosophy, and the fact that they have one of the best farm systems is just outrageous. Like that's
Too much money.
that's like what gets
Yeah.
me going as a
This
fan.
seems boring, but for a good reason.
Yeah, right.
It's just
They
fun.
do everything right,
Yeah.
and you can't complain about it.
We're the villain of baseball.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I am very optimistic about the Angels. We might not be quite as hot as we are now throughout the season. I think we'll finish easily in the playoffs. I don't think it'll be. I mean, it might come down to a race, but I think the next team below us will be farther down. I think it'll be like the M's versus the Angels, or like the Astros versus the Angels, and then the next team below that will be like 7 games behind or something like that. And even if we're not super hot, if we have a hot streak like this, where players are just hitting in the playoffs, could be a fun playoff run if
For
we
sure.
make it there, and if we get hot in the playoffs, which
I'm really hoping for it.
I'm hoping.
That'd be fun.
He's hoping. I hope the Mariners make it to the playoffs too. Even though
Definitely.
they're like divisional rivals or whatever, it's sad watching them.
Yeah, it was fun to watch.
You can't hate on them.
I feel
You
bad
can't
for
hate
them.
on
That's a
them.
fun city.
I wanted the 4-way tie or whatever.
Yeah, that would have been so cool.
Yeah, I know.
It's so fun to watch.
A double 163 for the same wild card spot. That's
I
crazy.
would have watched that. I would have watched both those.
163 is no more,
Yeah, they got.
Thank God,
Unfortunately.
yeah.
which is annoying.
I liked it.
It's
I went to the game. I went to a 160.
Yeah.
it's one of those fun things about baseball. It's like,
It comes down to this.
yeah, it's like extra innings too. Those are kind
Yeah.
of fun because no other sport just goes on indefinitely until you win.
Until someone wins.
And there's no 163 in anything
Sport,
else.
yeah.
It comes down
Exactly.
to overtime wins and like record against each other.
All that.
But no,
All that
that's
matters
fun.
for baseball, wins and losses.
We became more average now, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And when a 163 happens, which is not super often, everyone watches it because it's like the only baseball
The only
game
thing
on the
on.
whole day, and it's 163, man. Like,
Yeah.
there's
you
never
win or
163.
you go
Win.
home.
Exactly.
Or wild card. I mean, I guess that could be.
It's the same as the wild card game, but it's like not the playoffs, so it's some weird anomaly.
Yeah, wild card 2.
Pretty much.
Yeah, now there's just two
Wild
wild.
card beta.
Now there's 2 wild card games.
Yep.
It's weird how they did that. The divisional.
I would have just taken the top 2 from each league. To,
Yeah.
like, simplify
be.
it, but
I don't
whatever.
know. Weird. That concludes today. I'm gonna try to get us on a regular schedule,
For sure.
and
Yeah,
then we'll
do
be
that.
able to have content that doesn't go back 3 weeks, and we're not talking about events from
Recapping,
3
like,
weeks ago. Yeah,
things we don't
mega
even
long,
remember.
mega
Yeah.
long recaps. That's the
Right.
last thing that we need.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see you next time. Hopefully next Saturday.
Yep.